Hey guys, I'm going to give you a quick video update on the CDL class. This one's going to be called CDL School, Private Business CDL School versus CDL Carrier. So, I'm a little disappointed in what I thought I had well studied and well researched, but I got to tell you, I'm going to walk you through what happened here in my CDL school. It's a 3-week course, 1 week in class, 2 weeks of in the yard, they call it. What I didn't know was that the 2 weeks that we're in the yard and we're working on old Mack trucks, and I get the business model. It's obviously keep your expenses low, revenue in, minimize your expenses so you have a good profit. I'm okay with that, but $4,000 should buy you something. The CDL school has a good class. The yard was, in my opinion, I got plenty of good training in the yard, but on the road, you could only go out 5 times. According to that school, they said they're federally regulated. They cannot take a driver out more than 5 times. Why? I don't know if I believe that. I would challenge it only because if you don't pass your test and you come back, they got a system where after 5 o'clock, they can put you on the road for a little bit. It's going to cost them. They're not going to charge you. So I guess it's off the record. But they obviously do that because they know 5 times is not enough. So I went to school. I missed 1 line on the pre-check. There's 3 basic parts to a CDL test at they call it the DDS. It's the Department of Driver Services. It's a license branch, as we non-drivers know it. So you go there and you have a pre-check you do. And you'll either do the whole vehicle, which is not likely, or you'll do the walk up in the engine part, or you'll do just the side of the cab and the tractor, or you'll do the trailer and the back doors, generally. So it's not too bad. But I missed 1 line item, and the reason I missed it was my fault. I was late to my very last day by an hour. And I did not ask what I missed. And I should have. And I do hate hindsight. Because what I missed was, we are going to be tested on a Freightliner, not a Mack truck. So here's what the engine looks like for a Freightliner. And it is completely different. I'm not comfortable and familiar with under the hood, so I can point out an alternator. That's about it. I mean, oil. I got some of the basics, but I missed when I got there and I looked at the vehicle and it didn't. One side of it didn't have hardly anything on it. I wasn't familiar with that, so that threw me off, and I was nervous too. So if you're gonna take your CDL test, you guys, you gotta calm your nerves. At the end of the day, you either pass or you don't. It's not making you nervous, or being nervous is not gonna help you. And I allowed it to hinder my situation. So I take full responsibility of not passing that. But what I don't take responsibility for is when I call them back and say, hey, I didn't pass. I forgot to say, when I went to suspension and brakes, I forgot to say the frame is not cracked, broken, or no illegal welds. Missed that, so I failed. Now, I don't know why that makes that big of a difference. They could have pointed it out, and I'd say, okay. I mean, but I failed, so I didn't get to do my maneuvers. When you do your maneuvers will be 3 basic parts. You'll do your front, your straight forward and back, which should be pretty easy. You'll do your offset left or right, and then in Georgia, then you'll have 1 of 3 others that they will choose randomly. You'll either do your sight side parallel, which is your left side, the sight that you can see. You'll do your right side parallel, where they call it conventional, or you'll do a 90-degree alley dock. All of them I'm comfortable with. Trainers were good in the school for that. So, and then you get to go to the road test. Road test is probably 15 or 20 minutes on the road, but having only been in the vehicle 5 times, I did have difficulty downshifting. I got the double clutching fine, going up the speed, up the gears, but downshifting was really difficult for me, having only practiced it 5 times. Definitely would have felt more comfortable with another 5 times for sure. But once you're done with the class, they're pretty much on to the next class. So a CDL school, privately owned, has a lower interest in giving a crap if you pass or not. Sure, it makes them look better, but it's not like there's 5 places in Georgia to pick from that's close by. So the markets, they're pretty much got the market there. It's about the only place to go where I went. So I call them up, say, hey, I need to come to the yard and practice my inspection on the kind of vehicle that we're going to have. And the trainer that was over the program said, look, an alternator's an alternator. You shouldn't have any problem with this. Well, obviously I did. So that response is pretty disrespectful. As if I'm sorry I'm bothering you. And I'm sorry I didn't get it right. But I didn't. I made a mistake. I want to come back and try harder. I want to make the test work. I want to get better at it. I'm willing to invest that time and energy. So I went back and now I got it down. I can do it in my sleep. But when they were checking us off on our things to make sure that we have everything done, they didn't even check us off to see how good we are with our inspections. They let the students check each other off, and then they gave the paper. They said, here, I want you to check this guy, and then you check that guy, check off what he missed, and then give it back to me. So you got a good friend helping you out. You just missed a couple. I'll go ahead and give you credit for it. It's not doing you any good. You gotta learn it. So everybody looks like they did fine on that. But then I go to the DDS, and there are people failing left and right. I was in a group of 4 people. One of them has been around vehicles for a long time. The other one not so much, but he did pretty well. He was a little bit more comfortable around vehicles than I was. Another one has 17 dump trucks, and he's a great guy. He was good. So he passed everything. He did it all, one shot, and I was proud of him. I told him, I said, man, great job. I watched the whole thing, and then I had to go. Well, the other 3 of us failed in our little group for one reason or the other, and we're trying to get back into school, and they're like, well, you really can't get in any seat time because you've already had that opportunity, but you can sit and watch everybody. All right. It's not building any confidence, but all right. So I get a call to see when I can go back. Now, I started this venture 12/31/2018, New Year's Eve. Finished January 18th. It's now January 31st. Last week, it'll be a week Monday, or Tuesday, it'll be, I guess, a week. No, it'll be going on my 2nd week. On January 22nd, I think it was, Tuesday, I took the test and flunked. Did not pass. So I waited a week because they said, don't call back, we're busy. We got to put you in line. And then I find out I can't go for another 3 weeks. So what am I supposed to do for 3 weeks? I got to get some practice in. So the guy that owns 17 dump trucks was offering us to come down to his site to maybe practice in their dump trucks. I'm like, wait a minute, I spent $4 grand and you're gonna say that's all I can do for you? Good luck. So I called Night Transportation, which is the company I was looking at going with. Talked to the recruiter. I said, hey, you got a CDL school. You guys have a very good reason to get your CDL class, their CDL license, so you can drive and make some money off these guys. So I told them my situation, and we're working with them. I'm going to go out there Monday. I'm going to go out and do my orientation here in the Atlanta terminal, and then I'm going to take the investment, and I'm going to go in and go to the CDL school. I'm hoping I can buzz through that quicker than the 2 to 3.5 weeks because I already know everything. So they said they were going to work with me, and the fact that they were somebody talking to me willing to help me was a big relief for my frustration. And after I pay for the class over the course of several weeks or months, then they turn around and they actually pay me that money back because as a reward to stay with them. So I know that's an investment. So the story of this to you guys that are listening that are looking to get into CDL, get your CDL is, honestly, I personally think now with the experience that I have, and I hope you can learn from it, the value is at $4,000. If they're going to offer a school, I'd go to it. Now I know there's some things where you're not, you got to be careful because of the contracts and all, but at the end of the day, once you get in and you get your license and you get a year under your belt, you're pretty much okay to go where you want to go. You got to learn, and it's part of the process, and I get that. But to go with a carrier that has a CDL school has got a much more vested interest in your success than a private school. The day I wrote that check was pretty much the day they quit caring. And it's unfortunate. But I'll take my life lesson and share it on YouTube and see if I can't help somebody out there. So good luck to you, but I'm getting my party started. And what's interesting is by the time I go through my process with Knight's Transportation and go through their school and get my test, it'll probably be about the same time that I would have sat here and waited 3 weeks and got my CDL license. But I'll tell you what, at least I'll have more experience and I'll be working with a company that's wanting me to succeed, and that means something to me. So it's worth that to invest in. So good luck to you guys. Hope this helps you. Take care.